I've been on a long grind.
Yes, people. Welcome to another episode of FS Uncut. I'm your host, Daniel. Today I'm joined by three wonderful guests. Darren, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Today's been a good day.
We'll get on to why today has been a good day. Also joined by Jordan, who's back on our show. Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm good, brother. Thanks for inviting me back on. I'm happy and healthy. Glad to be here.
That's good to hear. And then we're joined as well by Darren, by Daniel. How are you doing, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Listen, good to be here and see a lot of you guys, except one certain shameless person. There's a shameless person up in the top left. But good to see the rest of you guys.
And we're joined by my FootySays brother, also part of three midfield. I don't know what's happened to him. He's starting to become a bit cheeky. Kojo, how are you doing?
Feeling great, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've got 3 points, so can't complain.
That's what I'm doing as well. 3 points. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, hands up if you got 3 points here. Hands up. Oh, hold on.
Wait, Darren. Don't worry. We'll get on to
Hands up if your grandmum saw your team win a trophy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think I'm taking that.
So let's start off with the game that Darren is talking about, the North London derby. It was, in my opinion, it was quite a comfortable game for Tottenham. But let's see what the Tottenham fan thinks. Darren, what do you think of the game today?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I thought first half, they just played into our hands. Caught them on the counter. Brilliant goal by Son. Very good goal by Kane. Light work. Second half, I was a little bit tense because we invited a lot of pressure. But at the same time, this is Arsenal who scored as many goals as Son this season. So if City can't score against Tottenham, Chelsea can't score against Tottenham, Arsenal definitely weren't. So really and truly, it wasn't. I know the stats say they had the plenty of possession and what have you, but what they did with it, they didn't really do much with it. Jose, he parked the bus, and I'm fine with it. I'm here for it because we're top of the league. I haven't really got much to say. Højbjerg, masterclass. I thought we might struggle with Dombele being out. It probably just would have been like 3 or 4-0 if he was there, to be honest with you. So Arsenal got a blare. I'm sorry, I'm here. You know what? I'm just gonna be irrational and on smoke today. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, to be honest, it's fair enough. You're top of the league. You've played a lot of good teams and won games, so it's understandable.
At the end of the day, right? I think it was a difficult period for us. It's Chelsea. Who was it first? It was Man City first. Man City, Chelsea. Now I thought Chelsea was going to be very, very tricky, and it did prove that. Arsenal, I did expect to beat. Obviously, when you get to the day on the North London derby, it's nervous. You're nervous because you're thinking, raw. You know what? You never know what could happen. You know what I mean? The form book does go out the window a lot of the time in the North London derby. So I was confident before, but when you get there, but after the first goal, it was just like, all right, one more goal, and I tweeted it as well. 2-0 and it's a wrap, and that's exactly so said, so done. They were never going to beat us at all. When I look back on it, they weren't going to beat us at all. They just weren't. We're just better than them right now. Man for man, we're better than them. The way we're set up, we're better than them. League position, we're better than them. If I look on my phone right now, I have to scroll down to find them. You understand? Like, man, come on now, man.
Darren, let me let Jordan defend Arsenal because as one of our comments says here, Jordan looks vexed. So Jordan, what are your feelings about the game today? Because
ran to the troll, you know. First class troll. Nah, not even vexed. So I actually want to speak more about Spurs than I do Arsenal because but I'll get to Spurs in a second because I'm really impressed with them. You've invited me on as an Arsenal fan, so yeah, best team won, the better team won. Two great goals. The first goal I thought could have been prevented. I really do. I think the tracking of Son and the letting him go was poor defending. The second goal, I think if Partey doesn't get injured and come off, I wonder if if it's a 3-on-4, that makes a difference. So I think the second goal, it was what it was. There's big problems. It's not good. It's not good for Arsenal right now. We're 15th. Seeing stats, it's a worst start in 45 years. It's a very, very bad start. It's very, very bad. And Mikel Arteta's got a lot of work to do over the next few games. Coming into this game, I wanted Arsenal to do one thing to try and get out of their funk, which was get off early shots. I was saying in the first 10, 15 minutes, you're within 15, 20 yards, 25 yards of goal. Just get shots off. Get shots off. I'm not a fan of Lloris. I don't rate him, although I think this year he's been very, very good. Just get shots off. Get up the pitch and really show intent. But credit to Spurs, I think Arsenal, even if they wanted to do that, weren't even allowed to do that because Spurs were so solid. Spurs were very organized. Spurs were very drilled. I think even if that was the game plan, we still couldn't have got shots off anyway. So it is what it is. It's not a good run right now. And right now, there's a lot of people. Listen, I'm not that Arsenal fan's going to come on there and start ranting about Mikel Arteta and saying Mikel Arteta out. I'm seeing stuff on social media. He's got to go. I'm not that Arsenal guy. So there's plenty of Arsenal fans that can talk that rubbish as far as I'm concerned. Am I concerned about our form? Of course I am. Is it unacceptable, our form? Yeah, it is. But I still believe in Mikel Arteta. I still feel that if he can get some players in the next window, I think we can see some progress because there's clearly a personnel issue there. I still think we've got players from the Wenger era. We've just got players that aren't good enough. And I think no matter how good you are, if you're a chef, you're the best chef in the world, and you're dining with rubbish ingredients, there's only so much you can do with those ingredients. So I think he's got to tweak the system a little bit. I think he's got to be a bit flexible. He's got to be a lot more flexible. I don't think he can be as rigid as he wants to be with the current players that we've got. So it's not good. Best team won, but it's still Spurs, so they'll finish fourth, no doubt. Anyway.
Of course we will.
Dan, Jordan said that Arteta needs to improve. He doesn't want him out, that he needs to improve the system. What do you think? And before you answer, let me read out some stats for you. Goals, 10, which is the 17th most in the league. Shots on target, 32, which is the 18th most in the league. Chances created, 65, which is the worst in the league. So do you think Mikel Arteta should have more time?
I tweeted
that out. Those are relegation stats, pure and simple. I have to disagree with Jordan to an extent. Obviously, what you said about obviously the ingredients, and that is true. But you know, Emery had those same ingredients. In fact, you could argue he didn't have as good ingredients because he didn't have the addition of Gabriel and Partey, same as Wenger, but they done much better. Like he's done a lot worse than them. Like the worst. So have that worst start in 45 years, 4 defeats at home, was it? Or 3 in a row, 3 or 4 defeats at home. Yeah, 3 in a row. Like just how badly he's doing. And I don't think it's fair to just blame the players and say he hasn't got the players because Emery had those players. And Mourinho had those players, but he didn't have those additions that Arteta has had. And I don't understand a lot of the sort of blind faith in Arteta. Like it's like if you're to say that you're Arteta out, it's an outrage, and a lot of people. I've seen on social.
It's outrage, Dan. It's an outrage. For me, I find it outrageous because to say Arteta out, fine. If you're like Basil, who comes on this platform, I think quite a bit, and a friend of mine, and you believe, no, I'm not even shooting, but at least Basil's been consistent. He didn't want Arteta in from the get-go. So his view was, this guy is not good enough to take us where we need to get to, and he's been consistent. So he's like, get rid of him, he's trash. He to some degree, has been proven correct to his initial prediction. But all these people now that were loving Arteta 6 months ago and now want him out, I think I don't take them seriously because what you want is him to be sacked and then to bring in who? The club can't afford, or I'll rephrase that, they won't pay for Allegri. They won't, Pochettino, I can't see it happening. So where do you go from there? I'm very much rational in the sense that, yes, right now it's shocking. But the reasons why you liked him 6 months ago and appointed him, remember those reasons. I think he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be held accountable and definitely scrutinized. 100%. There's no blind faith from me. I will hot him up. And if we're still 15th, Dan, come February, March, then listen, that's a different discussion to have.
That's what I was going to ask you. What's the breaking point for you? Yeah.
I think let's get past the next transfer window. Let's see if we can get some more players in, get some trash players out, and then see if that brings an improvement. I think if he's willing to tweak his system a little bit and change how he's coaching the team, that's when I will be like, okay. If he's not, and we're 15th, 14th, 13th in 2-3 months' time, then yeah, I keep saying Arteta, people think he's my dad. He's not my dad, Arteta. Yeah? Listen, I don't have any connection with any of these managers. They're just managers. If they're not good enough, I will be the first person on Twitter saying, pack your bags and get out of my club. There's no attachment like that. All I care about is doing well. I believe in him. I'm going to stick with him. But of course, that doesn't mean we just blindly don't scrutinize him. Not at all. Not at all.
Part of it is an Arsenal fan problem, I think. And I don't include you in this because I said you've always been very level-headed and you don't get hyped and carried away. But a lot of the Arsenal fans get hyped and carried away. And that's what happened with Arteta. So they build themselves up between like, yeah, this guy, he's going to take us back to the Champions League. Oh, what? He said he's going to win it in 3. I mean, that was mental that he said they can win it in 3 years.
That was a crazy
statement. And it's the hype. So when everyone's built up and then when you're having you come to have play like this, it's just like a big fall and everyone's just like, wow, this ain't what we expected. And then that big shock and outrage comes out. And I think Arsenal fans, a lot of them set themselves up for this every season.
My final point, I know Koji wants to come in here. My final point would be with Arsenal. The reason why Arsenal fans get so heated up about this, they forget. I think football fans, but definitely Arsenal fans, have very short memories. We forget how bad Arsenal were. I'm hearing people online now, oh, it weren't this bad under Arsene Wenger. Hang on a minute.
It definitely was.
I've watched games in the latter years of Arsene Wenger that were beyond shocking. But we forget that because it's bad now. Arsenal is not just about, I've said this to my friend today, he's a United fan. United for me is that what they need to do is have a plan and better personnel. But what Arsenal needs to do is bigger than that. It's not just better players. It's a different culture. Arteta's trying to overhaul a culture change of being losers for 15 years. That takes more than 2 years to undo, as far as I'm concerned.
Nah, definitely. I agree with that. I see both sides. I don't see why some Arsenal fans have some blind faith, but it is a process. Moving on to the team that's top of the league. When I was watching the game, every time Jamie Redknapp came on the commentary,
allow it.
Every time
I hate that guy.
He should be sacked.
Every time he came on the commentary, I felt it was a bit of a disgrace. I know he didn't want to say it, but he was not happy with Jose Mourinho's tactics. He wasn't happy that Jose Mourinho came and was defensively solid, allowed Arsenal to come onto them and hit them on the counter. Kojo, what do you think about those comments? And what do you think about Tottenham's style of play as a whole? Do you think that can win them the league?
We don't need to even acknowledge his comments because, quite frankly, they won the game. So what meaning does his comments have? At the end of the day, it's all this idea of everyone wants to sit here and they want to see this game go back and forth and see a crazy amount of goals. Listen, Spurs are here to improve and get better, and they want to try and add something to their accolades. They want to actually get trophies to the cabinet now, prove that they're among the big boys at some point, and they won the game quite comfortably. It's not always about possession. Possession is nice, but if you don't do anything with possession, what does that matter? Arsenal had more shots today, first time in Yonkers, had more possession, first time in Yonkers, but did they win? No. So the story remains the same for them. Tottenham went into the game. They needed the win. They got the goals. Was it first half 2 shots, 2 goals? Efficiency. Yeah. They won the game. That's what matters. No, I don't. Then he comes like, but Kane and all that. They're buying into it. He tried to change his tune after. They're buying into it, and that's what makes it. All that good stuff you were shouting the first time. What was that for then?
His Özil comments were shocking as well.
That was another one.
I'm so bored of this Özil. Oh, if Özil was in the Arsenal team. Again, short memories. The amount of games I saw Mesut Özil play for us, for Wenger, Emery, and Arteta, and did nothing. And all of a sudden now Özil was the answer. And he was spouting that rubbish about, there's a certain number 10 at home. If Özil was in the team, no, he wouldn't. He's embarrassing.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
One thing I will finally say is that I disagree with the idea that Spurs can win the title playing this way, because at some point during the season they're going to have to be on the front foot and break teams down. Counter-attacking can get you so far, but no team for me wins the league by counter-attacking. Even Leicester didn't do that. Leicester had a plan in the final third. They had a plan in the final third. So
I would say Spurs for me are not completely counter-attacking in the sense that last season I think Mourinho trying to get to know the team was very much counter-attacking. It was very much structured. It was very much sitting back and seeing if you could break us down before we try and break you down. I think this season he's allowing them to push forward just a little bit more. He's getting Ndombele. Well, he didn't play today, but he's getting to get a little more control in the game. So at some point, when they do stop the attacks from other teams, they start to try and play out from the back a bit more, try to get a bit more creative with the ball. So I feel like there's a halfway point there. They're not completely attacking at all, but they're not certainly defensive. For me, they're sort of like balanced right in the middle where they found that sort of middle ground. But when they play teams, they want the ball and are going to come for their necks. There's no need for them to go and push because they know they got the players to counter. That's what they did against.
That's the thing. That's the thing. This is the thing because, all right, so we did it against Arsenal. We did it against Chelsea. We've done it against City, right? City, well, obviously, City just bombard you, right? City bombard you. Chelsea are top heavy, right? Chelsea are top heavy. Arsenal are actually quite top heavy, and none of them have scored against us. So there's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, we beat a Man United 6-1. Right? And that wasn't counter-attacking. That was we beat them. Right, all right. The West Ham game. All right. I'm still salty about that anyway. But we were on the front foot for most of that game. Newcastle on the front foot for most of that game. So it isn't true that we're just gonna sit there and park the bus against everybody. It isn't.
Sorry, finally on Ozil as well. To be honest, yeah, Jordan, 100% you're spot on because they were the same people that were telling him that he's not good, he shouldn't be playing anyway when he was playing for Arsenal. So now that Arsenal are not creating chances, yes, we get that.
It's just
but
boring.
He wasn't doing it anyway. So regardless, it's time. That relationship is broken anyway. It's time for him to leave Arsenal. So that's it.
You know, commentators, they always need a story. They always need something to talk about. And also,
no. Commentators need to commentate on the game and then leave.
They should, but you know that they don't do the job description.
Just on Ozil finally as well. I will say this: if Mikel Arteta brings him back, I don't think he will, but if he brings back into the squad in January, I will be the first one on Twitter saying #Arteta out.
Damn!
Wow!
If he brings him back in, I will change my. I will lose all respect for him. I don't think he will, but if he does, he changes his mind, I'm done with him.
Wow. So
you heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first, and Dan, you got your answer. That's the breaking point for.
Will you buy the shirt that Troops has released with Arteta on it?
Nah, forget Troops. We're not going to talk about him over here. Forget that. Before we move on, I need to ask this. I've asked a lot of Spurs fans. We asked Jack last week, but they all sit on the fence. Darren, before I ask this question, I want you to read this comment so that you can actually let out what you feel. Do you think Spurs are going to win the league?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Ooh.
I've been saying it from time. I've been saying it for time. And the reason I'm saying it is not because I'm a gassed Spurs fan. Right? Well, I am. Let's be real. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we've got to look at balance. Right? We've got one of the most balanced squads in the Prem right now. Right? Us, Liverpool, Chelsea, no, not at the back. I don't think so. No,
they're better at the back than you.
At the back, they're solid, you know.
Yeah. Better than yours.
That's fine, but you will see as time goes by. Right? I don't think so. Right? Maybe, Leicester. I would have said Leicester. I said Leicester about 2 weeks ago, but no, let's throw that one out the window. But we've got one of the most balanced squads in the Prem right now, right? At the back, we're solid. It's shown, right? 3 games against 3 big teams, we've not conceded, right? With the Europa games sandwiched in between. Okay. Up top, Kane and Son, almost unstoppable. In midfield, you've got Ndombele is on form. Højbjerg is just a boss, right? Lloris is having, and I'm not going to lie, I was with you, Jordan. I couldn't stand Lloris. I wanted him gone. right, last season. Because I think from he won the World Cup, he was just complacent. But you see this season, he's come right back into form. And I can't really fault him at this particular moment. And the thing is, Jose is still, you can see that Jose is instilled this winning mentality in the squad already. The mentality's changed. Do you know that half of these games under Poch, no disrespect to him, I love him, but half of these games under Poch, we would have lost. Yeah?
You're forgetting something though. Injuries. What about injuries?
I was going to say that as well.
Dan, you're reading my mind.
They are a Harry Kane injury away from falling off. I don't think Spurs even get top 2. I think they get top 4.
Vinicius, right? And I've looked at him extensively, right? Vinicius can come in and he will be able to do a job. As long as there are not too many injuries, which I don't think so, he will come in and do a job. Laugh all you want, right?
No, I'm laughing at Menti.
But Vinicius can come in and do a job. This is the first time we've actually got a backup striker. I didn't even see the comment. I won't even ask, right? But we've got, I think, Dombele was out, for instance, today. Lo Celso came in. He was okay. He was functional. As long as you don't get too many injuries, I think we'll be fine.
I'll give Spurs some more love as well. I think one of the big things about Jose that's impressing me is he's got 2 players who I didn't rate playing really well, Eric Dyer and Serge Aurier. 2 players that I just thought were just average at best.
And none of us rated him. Rated him.
And he's got them both performing to a system. That's what he does. But Taranti was asking me about Arsenal's backline. Bro, what's the hairline saying? Forget the backline. What's the hairline saying?
Whoa.
That's what I'm not having it.
No, don't do it.
No. Jordan, I have to cut you off there. We don't allow any ranty slander on this show.
I said, don't come for the boss. Don't come for the kingpin.
However, I feel that's a very, very good way to end the Tottenham Arsenal segment. but I'm happy that we finally have a Spurs fan that can say with his chest that Spurs are going to win the league. Before it's on YouTube, you can go and watch it. I didn't think Spurs could win the league, but the way they performed against Chelsea and today really impressed me. Spurs look like a vintage Jose Mourinho team, so I think they can go all the way and win it, injuries permitting. But moving on to the late kickoff on Saturday between West Ham United and Manchester United.
Robbery. There was a robbery in London, in East London. There was a robbery.
We'll get to that robbery. But Manchester United came out 3-1 winners, coming back from behind to win a game for the 5th time this season. So, Dan, what do you think of the game on Saturday?
All right, let's get to it. This has me stressed. Now, before I get into the game, I have to address these accusations that was made against the West Ham fans on Twitter and this is me saying this. I'm not speaking for FootySays, but by this clown Adam McCullough, accusing the fans of booing the knee and all of that and the Black Lives Matter thing, and it just didn't happen. Like, he's booed it. Like, there's so much evidence that's come out to show that that's a lie. The 2 publications that posted it and originally published that article have deleted their comments. Stephen Howson, who's McCullough's mate, who backed it, deleted all of his tweets. There's videos that have come up that showed it was chanting "Come on, you Irons!" So come on, you Irons. There's journalists that were there that were Man United. I know is a Man United fan that says it didn't happen. Declan Rice says it didn't happen. But this guy wanted to slander the club, and I think using something as serious as that movement for likes and retweets is a disgrace. I've met that guy before. I've worked with him, and that is him all over. He's a clown. He's a disgrace, and that's just my fault. So I had to put that out there. If our fans did boo it, I'd be the first to come out and condemn it. All of the top publications were talking about the Millwall thing. That was all reported. None of them was talking about this, and it's in the Premier League. So that's what I have to say about that. Now to the game. Look at my eyes. Look how red my eyes are. That was me. We're not getting no sleep last night, thinking about all those chances that we missed. Oh my God. It should have been like 10-0 or something at halftime. I cannot believe that game. And as Jordan said, it was daylight robbery. As I said, Kojo is shameless because he wants to sit there and take and celebrate illegal goals that should not have stood. Right, even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is coming out. That's why I like Solskjaer. You know, he's an honest guy. He's not like bloody Aston Villa's manager, that fraud that he is. I'm Ole in all the way. But I have to say, like, we battered Man United in the first half. Absolutely battered them. We were all over them. And we just didn't put the ball in the back of it. Haller's, I can't understand what happened there. I love Haller. I'm one of Haller's biggest supporters. I can't figure out what's happened there. If he's lost his footing, it's confidence. But he's in that position. Yeah, maybe he should have banged it a little bit earlier. And he's trying to get in the position. And he's not confident. But which Moyes dropping him last week won't have helped his confidence. For an injured, he basically done what Arteta done. This is what I said, going back to that when he rushed Antonio back too early and he went and got injured, didn't make the second half. That's what Arteta has done to Partey, parallel flipping games. But yeah, that's probably knocked his confidence. But it seems like, I don't know if his studs get stuck in the grass and he loses his footing. That killed me. Like, Fornals missing big chances. It was, the ball went out. Exactly. It's just, you know, I have to commend the double substitution, of course, of Ole bringing on Fernandes and Rashford. You know, they changed the game.
One was forced.
Of course, yeah. Martial, I'm sorry, like, before the injury, he was poor. Like, I wish he stayed on. You know, not just the injury. There's something. I feel for the guy, you know. I mean, he's a guy that usually scores against us, so you know something's wrong. He's not sticking the ball in the back of the net against West Ham because he usually scores for him. There's something deeper going on with Martial because he's shown that he's a good player. But that game killed me to lose that. If you ever saw a watch along, I was not happy. I was really not happy just because we were battering them, and then I'll always rule them. We could have gone third. Those chances. Manchester United. Yeah, this is what I don't get. How did they not see it? How does Match of the Day better technology than the Premier League? How is that possible? I don't get it. The linesman, this is the linesman. That linesman was shocking all game. The linesman, when asked, why didn't you how did you not see that? Oh, I was looking for offside. Watch the ball. You're supposed to be watching the ball. How can you not see that the ball has gone out of play? Why are you looking at the players? You're looking at the ball. It's a travesty. It's a crime. And look, you're smiling, Kojo, yeah? But that means that you've got Ole for even longer now. We were trying to do you a favor. We were trying to get him out for you. You know, and now you're smiling. So listen, you might as well just say you're Ole in and be done with it.
I agree with Dan in that it was, you know, they should have won that game. United were awful. But I think the difference between, I suppose, Arsenal today and West Ham on Saturday was that we both dominated the ball in large parts of the game. But Arsenal created nothing against Spurs, really. Whereas West Ham actually created chances they should have scored. And against Southampton last week, I said at 2-0 down. I've got the receipts and bare WhatsApp groups. They were 2-0 down. I said to all my groups, if they don't get the third, United win this game. This was 42 minutes. They were 2-0 down. United win this game. And the same thing against West Ham. If they don't get the second and third goal, United win this game. Because again, the difference between United and Arsenal is United are crap. United are crap. But the difference is they have match winners in their team that can just do a madness. Paul Pogba didn't play well. Boom, goal. Do you know what I mean? Marcus Rashford threw on, boom, goal. They've got match winners. And if West Ham didn't kill the game. So I don't have full sympathy for West Ham because they could have won that game by halftime. So there's only so much sympathy that I can extend to Dan and West Ham because you had it in your hands.
Ben Rama should have started that game. Ben Rama should have started that game.
He should have. I don't know why he isn't starting.
He got 2 assists in 66 minutes. Like he comes on, gets an assist, and it's just like, why is he not starting the flipping game now? I love Fornals. I love his work rate, but it's just his decision making. It's not there. Put Ben Rama in the starting 11, Moyes. But he's right. You know, it's the players have let us down big time with their finishing.
I need to. After all the United slander, I think it's only fair if Michael has the opportunity to defend his team. And this is the most I've seen Michael smile for the past 5 to 6 weeks. So, Michael, why are you smiling?
Ollie's at the wheel. Ollie's at the wheel.
No, I'm only smiling because of Dan. Because me and Dan, we've done what? 2 podcasts last week together, or this week? Sorry, this week together. And I said it was going to be 3-1 originally. Then I said if we smack PSG 4-1, and if we don't smack them 2-1, we got duppied, so it was 2-1. But my original prediction was right anyway. So either way, I win. That's it.
But let's be real though. Like I said, the goal. Come on, man. You can't be.
No. You know.
Come on.
First off, you killed us. Straight up. I was watching the game myself, thinking this is going to be.
I wish we had noise back.
No. I'm thinking it's gonna be 4-0 at half time. Just sitting here, and Dan host, you know how I've been. Like at this point, I just laugh at the team because at this point it's hilarious. But when we went in half time 1-0, I was like, this guy is gonna come back again. It's gonna be another away win. It's gonna be one of them ones. When they showed the replays, like even me, because the angles they were doing it at, I was like, I can't even. Like it's weird. Like you're not giving yourself a good enough angle to make sure that it's 100% in or out. Like it was sort of like somewhere else. So how are they from the cameras? How are they gonna tell? That's one of the ones where they say, well, if we can't tell it, how do we say it's gone out? Cool. Regardless, Pogba scores a lovely strike. Beautiful. The second goal, Greenwood, must say that was a lovely goal all day long. That touch rattled me, and the way he took it early as well. I like strikers that take shots early. Don't give the defender's chance to get comfortable. Don't give keeper the chance to get settled. Strike it, goal. Yeah, and then after that, because West Ham were trying to get the goal back, we'll find the gaps inside, and everyone knows United are only good when it's long pass and then run onto it. So Rashford got his goal. Should have scored one earlier when he hit the post. That one kind of annoyed me, but he at least got another goal, and we won. Now the thing is, afterward they showed it on Match of the Day, and Ole. See, the thing is, he said Ole is honest. He saw the ball. He looked up. Watch the replay. He looks up, sees the ball, and then looks down again. Side like, no, it happened. Like he's not that honest. He's not that honest. But when it's happened, he's got his goal, and the game's finished. He's like, yeah, it went off my head. Now he ain't honest. He's just like his father. His father that taught him.
But you know, if it was Wenger, it'd be like, oh, I didn't see it. You know, like, at least Ole was like, yeah, we got away with it.
But no, you know what? After that goal came in, I needed Pogba to get that goal because he hasn't been good this season. Admitted he had COVID. He's admitted himself that it's been hard for him to get back to his fitness and that. He needed that goal. He needed to show a bit of quality. In the first half, I feel like he's the only United player. He wasn't good, but he was the only United player trying to make something happen, trying to drive the ball forward, no matter how many times he gave the ball away. And then second half after that, we improved. We got better. As for Martial, right? I'm done.
Oh, wow. Why are you done?
Let me tell you why I'm done. Because the thing is, I've defended this guy in the sense that when he came first season, he was a striker. He scored goals. Then he went left wing, in and out, inconsistent. Finally found form in Mourinho's season, and then we brought in Sanchez. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he was benched, lost himself. Had a bit of a bitch about him losing his number 9 to go into number 11. You got your number 9 back. You scored 17 league goals last season. That's a good return for your first season. Decent. But you have to level up now. What is next? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Ole still wanted a striker, despite the fact that you did that, kind of tells the whole story. That kind of shows me that he doesn't really trust you completely. He doesn't look at you 100% and say, that's my number 1 striker. Because he was after Haaland. And he brings a Cavani. Now, Cavani's 33 years old, supposed to be the backup. Yet, when you three of you start together, Cavani's the main man. You're on the left again. You're shifted. Cavani's now starting to start as the main striker, and you're not finding form. You're missing chances. I don't know what's going on with him. You might be right in saying that there's something outside.
You know, I did a show pre-season on radio, and I remember saying that United needed a number 9. And all the Martial fanboys came out. I got absolutely battered. No, we don't. We've got Martial. It's fine. He'll score 25 goals. Absolutely battered me. And I said, you need a killer. If you're chatting about talent, I actually personally think on talent and ability, Martial is up there with the best in Europe. I'll say that straight with my chest. Ability, dribbling, his finishing. I think he's a great talent.
Yeah,
I don't care for talent if it doesn't translate to output. Plenty of players have talent, but they don't produce it on the pitch week in, week out. And he's that guy. And I reckon what's happened now with Cavani coming in, who in a handful of games has shown what a killer does.
That's
and
it.
For me, it looks like Martial, rather than rising to the challenge of Cavani coming in, has kind of shrunk. He's kind of shrunk and like he doesn't want it. He should be saying to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, no, bun that. I've been here. I ain't letting an old man come in, take my spot. No. I'm going to show you. But he's doing the opposite. I would sell him. In the summer, get some money from moving. The guy.
I don't know about selling him just because I feel like he's still a good enough player to have in the squad. The fact that he can still play on the left and do a good job there is good. But what you said about him not being a killer is the one thing I've been screaming for a long time. All of us, no matter the era, have watched strikers that have been able to adapt their game to the situation that makes them a killer. So if it's a game where you need to play with your back to goal, you find a way to do it. If it's a game where you need to make a run and be instinctive and find a way to get a goal, you do it. He hasn't, for example, the Southampton game you mentioned, Cavani, those 2 goals that he scored, those goals were super instinctive. He's ran into a position straight away. He's got his head onto it. 2 diving headers, 2 goals. That's what we need. Martial doesn't make those movements. He's not sharp as a striker like that. And that upsets me because when I saw the few glimpses of him as a youngster at Monaco, game at Arsenal when he was a little kid, and then the videos I could see here and there when we were linked to him the first time, he had that instinct about him. He was making those runs. He was making those moves. So why have you, in your instinctual movements as a striker, why has that regressed? What's going on? You like the ball to feet too much. You like the ball back to goal too much. And you like to try and take on players. And even when you take on players, your next decision, we don't know if it's going to be right or wrong.
He doesn't want
80% of the time, it's not spot on. So that's why I'm having enough. So for me, look, he's 25 years old. I'm not talking about what he could be anymore. You're 25 years old now, to be honest. It's what you are right now. This is my last chance for him. I said I'm done, but I'm giving him one more chance in the sense of this season. You're next to Cavani, who is one of the most potent killers we've seen in football in this decade, right? Learn from him. Watch the guy. Learn from him and add that to your ability. I don't like using the term power and pace, but how many defenders in the Premier League, if he gets a run in behind them, how many is catching him? How many are stronger than him? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you add those to your game so that you can be the guy that can be on the shoulder, the guy that can play with his back to goal, the guy that can take on players, the guy that can kill. You add those, like Jordan said, that talent that puts you amongst the best in Europe in terms of what you've got. Once you add it and make sure that you are that killer, how many players touch you?
I think Rashford will prove to be a better success at United.
Rashford's a better player.
I think Martial's got more talent than Rashford. The difference is I think Rashford has a ceiling where I think he wants to improve and improve and improve and improve. Whereas Martial, I just don't think he's got it up here. I think he's comfortable. And I just don't think he wants it.
I agree.
Too much woman scandal. Too much woman scandal. That's Martial. That's him.
You can't say that's alleged. He did it. He did it. He apologized. He did it.
Live on Insta. But Darren, as somebody that watches a natural born killer week in, week out, do you think that Martial... Kane and Son. You're right. Sorry. Apologies. But do you think Martial can turn into a killer, or do you think...
Sorry.
Do you think Martial can turn into a killer, or do you think United should cash in?
If he was going to turn into a killer, he'd be one already. That's the thing. I was watching the highlights of Match of the Day because I missed the game, right? And you know, it came to my mind. I just thought Martial is just not that gunman that United need, right? He blows too hot and cold, right? So he reminds me. This is gonna sound bad, right? He reminds me like of Darren Bent. Do you understand? Where he gets goals, but when it counts, he's not there. He's not there. Rashford, for me, is much better centrally than Martial. And I think you should try and persist with Rashford up front as a centre forward. That's my personal opinion.
I would put Greenwood up there, to be honest.
Well, oh yeah, you got Greenwood as well. I forgot about Mason. But Rashford has got the experience. Greenwood is young and hungry. Both of them would be ahead of Martial as far as I'm concerned. United, I think if United want to become elite again, they need to get rid of shift players like Martial and have consistency throughout the squad.
I can agree with that.
Sorry. Just to add to what Dan just said. Darren just said just now. Yeah, you know what? In fact, I'm going to add to it. I'm done. I'm not even going to argue for him anymore. It's over. It's over. There's no point. Say what you're going to say, Daniel. It's cool. Man,
Can I just ask Dan a question quickly on West Ham?
Yeah.
How high do you think West Ham can finish this year? Because they've kind of gone under the radar a little bit, and I can't work out why you've done so well. And I've been a big critic of Moyes, but is Moyes the reason why you've done well? And what success for you guys this season, do you think?
Nah, you know what? I have to. Even though Kojo's shaking his head, he's a big Moyes hater, and I was never his fan.
Never.
Yeah, I've been a big critic of him, but I have to give him a lot of credit with the system. You know, he's come in and brought the back five, which has got the best out of Creswell. Creswell is one of the most in-form centre backs in the league, even though he's traditionally a left back. Masuaku, it's gotten the best out of him being a wing back rather than a left back. Like that system. And our ability to transition from defense to attack when we need and to counter attack and things like that. I think it's working. It is working. I think we've got some really good players, obviously in January, Souček and Bowen. Bowen, again, I don't know why he took Bowen off. He was our best player. And he was
twisting up Tejas for the whole first half. I was confused.
It was mad. But yes, I really have to give him a lot of credit, and I think what he's done with Antonio, obviously Antonio's injured, but saying, do you know what, I'm not going to make you a sometimes winger, sometimes striker, sometimes right back, you're a striker, and putting him there and getting the best out of Antonio. So yeah, I have to give him credit for that. Where we can finish is such a tough one. I'm one of these West Ham fans, I never want to get carried away. Anytime we're on a winning streak, in my head I'm always like, when it's going to end. But I have to say that I take positives out of that Man United game and say, like, we did completely batter them in the first half, and it was just chances that let us down, but that could have been 4 wins in a row. So I think we can. I'm looking top half. Like for me, I just like this season top half. Like initially, I wanted to be out of the relegation battle, but if I'm on top half, maybe like 9th, 8th, it's tight up there. That part of the table is so tight. Like especially when you're looking on like 3rd, 4th. Oh man, I think you'll climb back up there for like 11th or something. No, yeah, like if he gets a top half finish, I want the stability. I don't want this like one season where we do really good and we finish 7th and then we're back struggling next week. I just want to say, right, let's say 10th this season. Then we'll try and maybe climb to like 9th or maybe another 10th, and then maybe try and get an 8th, and then things like that. So that's the key for me. But Antonio's now injured for a while because Moyes made a stupid mistake. But we get him back. We get some buys in January, maybe Josh King, and we're looking good. I think we're looking good. We're shown, especially we can play against. Especially look at the run we've had. Actually, the opening fixtures we had.
We had a lot of hard games. We played Wolves, we played City, we played Liverpool, played Spurs, played United, played a lot of big teams. Yeah. And we've done well in a lot of those games.
I have to say, I'm sorry, Jordan, but that loss to Arsenal is looking worse and worse and worse every week.
Tell me about it.
They were lucky.
Yeah. That was a bad one. But yeah, like I was looking at that fixture list and like, oh my God, we're doomed. We're doomed. Like this is going to be a bad season, and we come out of it, and we've done really well. We're banging in goals. Like our goal scoring record is really good, and you know, apart from Tottenham and Man United game, we ain't conceded more than 2 goals in a game. Sometimes on average like 1. So yeah, no, I'm feeling good. It's just certain things annoy me about Moyes. But it's sort of like with you can't, if any little criticism of him, there's a little fan base that jumps on you and it's like, oh, why are you being negative? Why back Moyes? It's like I can criticize him if he does something stupid. Yeah, it's like I pretty much said him and the medical staff were stupid for putting Antonio in. Like you come from you have no reason to drop Alex. I have my feelings, but ultimately I have to give him credit, and I'm feeling quite quietly optimistic, but I'm not going to stick my chest out too much like a certain Spurs fan in the top right up there.
Don't worry, he'll get his. They'll get his.
Make the fall that sweeter.
Daniel, you see in the comments here. Sorry, you see in the comments. Oh, sorry, no, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
When Antonio comes back, Dad, where does he fit in? Because you seem to like Haller a lot, but it's not. You guys don't seem to be playing with two up front. It seems like you're playing with more of two wide players and a single man up front. So, do you think you can accommodate both Antonio and Haller, or what would you like to see?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an option. Like when Moyes did play that earlier in the season, we was playing against Southampton. We saw them two playing together. They was deadly. Like the link up play was just amazing. I want to see more of Benrahma and Ali link up. We've got time with Antonio being out. I think it's gonna with Antonio being out the way he is. Even when he comes back and they say he's fit, I don't want to see him put straight back in. But I think, especially with the cups coming up, we need to start experimenting, try and get them playing together. Even if you do need to say to Antonio, maybe you go back to the wing for this game, you know, and experiment. But if Moyes, it's rumours Moyes don't rate Allaire, but I think he's an idiot. Like the guy, there's definitely talent there. He's definitely talented, and we need to try and play to his strength. We need to try and get him the ball to his feet. So it's a weird one. Like everyone's like, no, Antonio goes straight back in. You can't. His hamstrings are like. They're like elastic band, you know, they just snap. And his injury record is really bad. We can't rely on him. So we have to find a way to get the best out of Allaire because Antonio will get injured again. And sadly, if we could keep him fit, he would be like a 20-goal a season guy. But
who, Antonio?
Yeah, he could definitely be. Like, I mean, he was from the end of lockdown up until the end of August, the most top scorer. Yeah, he was top scorer. Like, and that is the problem. It's always stop, start with him. But if he could be consistent, say fit for a season, he would be up there. He'd be close to like around 20 goals. I truly believe, and like he's nearly our top. He's closing in on being our top scorer in the Premier League era. That's how mad it is. Yeah, he's just behind Noble and Di Canio. Yeah, that's
wow. I didn't even know that. That is nuts.
Yeah,
to be honest.
How many goals is the most for you guys?
I think it's like. If off the top of my head, it's either like 49 or something like that. It's like, and that's like ever. Like we've had a bad record of signing strikers, especially under Golden Sullivan. So I think like Di Canio's got something like 49 or 50 or something. So yeah, we've not bought well with strikers. Yeah, but Antonio could be up there, and yeah, I love Antonio, but it's just the injuries, man. It's a real shame.
Fair enough. And Kojo, where do you think United are going to finish this season? Because if you win your game in hand, if I'm correct, you're 2 points behind top, which are Spurs. In the past show, you kept on saying Oli out, but Oli seems to be doing well. If he wins on Tuesday, I believe, they qualify from the group of death. Then they play Man City, and if they win the game in hand, they're 2 points behind top. So, what do you think of United's chances for the title?
Well, it's still Oli out, but there is no title challenge. Just take your time. Don't worry, it's coming. Don't worry. You know what I'm talking about. It's coming. Don't worry, it's coming.
I actually don't know what you're talking about. You have to
the downfall. We've been here before. Trust me, it's coming.
It's annoying that it just didn't happen like on Saturday.
I genuinely thought you were going to smoke us because you've beaten us, 2 years in a row? We haven't beaten you in 4 years.
At home as well. Like, honestly, we just didn't take our chances. It's tough. I want to ask, with Jordan and Kojo, like, both of you, I know Kojo's definitely going to be saying, yeah, jump this, but you've got Pochettino out there available. Obviously, Allegri is someone I've only really heard Arsenal fans saying, I want Allegri. So that's someone else who's available. Like, do you guys not feel any sort of way of like, do you know what? We need to be sacking our manager now to get this guy. This guy is available. This guy is a quality manager. Yeah, you don't even have to think about that. That's a tougher one for Jordan, I think.
I like Pochettino, and I think he's a better fit for United than us. But I don't think he goes to either. I don't think he. I don't. Well, he may go to United. Okay, I'll rephrase that. If I was him, I wouldn't go to United because I think that you have to manage upwards as well. And I think the hierarchy of that club is a mess. I'm thinking, why would I want to go into a club where the hierarchy is a mess? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I still have to blink and wipe my eyes that he's the manager of Manchester United. I still can't believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the Manchester United football manager. However,
but
he ain't the biggest problem there.
He's not the biggest problem, but we keep getting on to Oli. But I saw an interesting stat. If you look at the amount of points every team has gotten since the 1st of January, United are top of the league. So he's doing a good job. In his first full season, came third.
What about the real top of the league?
The real top
in real life.
Tell him again, Jordan. Tell him again.
What about all these stats are all cute? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the best record in over 10 games, best home record in 4 games. But United, and this is a big if United still see themselves as a big club, sack him. No other company in the world is the number one company in the world and has a subpar manager or a subpar CEO. So if United are the biggest club in the world, why have they got the guy who we all can agree is not the best they can get?
You can say the same as Arsenal, though.
But Arsenal ain't big, man.
2 things. All right, mate. All right. 2 things. There's some truth in what Kojo just said. We're not United. And the second thing is, I think Solskjaer had long enough to get United closer to the top 4 than he currently is.
He got him in the top 4 last season, though. Like
he did, but are they a top 4 side? Are they really a top 4 side?
No, not someone you could say is like, they'll get there every season. But it's like Daniel said, like if they do win that game, like they could go, second. Was it second? A few points off top.
Yeah.
Like Kojo said, we've been here before.
Exactly.
It always seems like he's doing worse than he is for some reason, Ollie. I don't know why. Like,
you know what it is, Dan? I look at his whole body of work at United. I don't look at 4 games here, a year there. I look at his whole body of work, and there are much more holes than there are plugins for me in him being in charge there. So I don't think he's the guy for the job. If United think they're just a regular club now, then fine, leave him there. He might get you top 4. But if they believe they're still the big boy out here, come on. They'll have good runs, bad runs. You should have beaten them. You should have beaten them. They won that game because they had 3 match winners. Not because of the system, not because of the tactics. They had 3 match winners. And Harold Low it in it.
You know what?
We'll get your headline as well. Low it in it. Low it.
Did you see Stell's comment? Did you see Shoot the Defense's comment? That's exactly what I was going to say. Ole's a yes man. He's a yes man. That's what he is. He's going to be. He embodies the spirit of Fergie. In terms of, he goes to him and he looks to him for guidance and what have you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's like Fergie, but I'm saying he looks to him for guidance, because Alex Ferguson still pulls strings at that club. Let's be real. The Glazers love Ole. He's the yes man. He's the, as Estelle just said, the bulletproof vest. They're going to keep with him for a long time. So it's a long-term project. I always did ask, I did think when he first came in that you need to give him time. And for some reason, he still manages to pull it out of the bag. To be honest with you, he still manages to pull these results out of the bag.
But Darren, repeat that. He pulls it out the bag. A top manager doesn't pull things out the bag. A top manager at a top club has a philosophy, has a plan, has a system of play that over the course of 38 games proves to be successful. It's not every now and again he saves his ass. That's not a good manager. Or that first half they were brilliant, second half crap, or vice versa.
You probably say he's a good transitional manager. He's a good transitional manager, transition you from one to the next big manager. It's just when they're going to do that. And like Stell was saying, like obviously if they see him as like, this is our guy, he's not going to question things. We can keep doing the things the way we're going to do them. Maybe they just see him as, yeah, look, like if he gets the Champions League, that money's coming into the bank account. We're happy. And we ain't got to make no changes. We don't need to be fighting for the league. That's the way it is, it seems.
Well, me personally, as a Liverpool fan, I want Ole to stay at United for as long as possible. That's why I'm pushing the agenda. But I do also feel like, as Dan said, Dan's tone, I think we might be a bit harsh on Ole. Like, if you look at the numbers at the moment and last season, he's doing what's asked of him. So I think he should still be there, in my opinion, in my personal opinion.
It's a little bit like the Ozil debate. I think we have to move on now from whether is Ole good or bad. That's a bit boring now. He's there. He ain't going anywhere. You just got to make the best of it. And as a United fan, just support him and hope that he can get you top 4. Hope that he can get you to a cup final and ride it out, because he ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So the discussion of is he good or bad is kind of futile now, really, as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough. Before we round up the show, I just want to get everyone's prediction so that we have it live on camera on who's gonna win the league. So we'll start with Kojo.
God. Tottenham.
Darren?
Spurs.
Jordan?
Said it already.
Liverpool by 10 points.
Oh, gap as well.
Oh, Dan?
That's Salt talking. That's Salt speaking, though.
Nope. I said before the Van Dijk injury 10 points, and I stick with 10 points.
10 points, boy. I stick with my original prediction. Chelsea win the league this season.
Chelsea. Ooh.
I can never, ever see Tottenham winning the league. I can never see them not.
Of course you can't. That's down the bottom. It's Salt. That's the Salt. That's all I'm saying, isn't it?
He's on crud.
We've seen it too many times before.
Bear of this, innit? Bear of this.
No, it's not.
Daniel, can I come back on here in March when Spurs are 4th or 5th or 6th?
Oh,
can I come back on that show?
Yeah, we need this group of people, right? Because what's going to happen is they're going to come to our ground when they're looking to when they're going to win the league. When they're there, it's almost there, and we're going to batter them.
And we're going to slap you. We're going to slap you. You think we're going to lose to you this season at all? You're fortunate, you know. You had 8 minutes of great football. 8 minutes. Yeah, we were terrible.
That's all we needed. Yeah? That's all we needed.
Yeah, your cup final. It's your cup final.
You're lucky. It was only 8 minutes. We didn't have more minutes because we could have probably gone on and win that game. So you're lucky the game ended.
You didn't, but we dominated you for that whole entire. We'll slap you at the whatever. What's your ground called? The athletics track. Yeah, we'll slap you there.
We'll see. No, but we've seen it so many times where you was looking to win the league, then we beat you, and then it fizzled out. Like
that's a different Tottenham now.
Different Tottenham. Bold statement. Well, when Tottenham play West Ham at the London Stadium or the athletics track, we'll make sure that Darren and Dan are back on.
Have they got steps there so they can go and lift their trophy, or have they? If they win
come on, listen. I know we haven't been able to talk about trophies, but you can't talk about trophies either. Come on.
Dan, I have to step in. I don't really think talk about trophies from the Spurs.
I'm saying
At least West Ham know they're a small club. Spurs kind of just push out their chest like, what was it, 1914 or some stupidness. You want a title, like allow it in it.
DVD FC. You released DVDs for like 2 minutes at top two, like or whatever it is. We was at top of the league for 2 minutes, and you celebrated. That was that draw against Arsenal. There is actually a real DVD about that time when you came back and drew against.
That's fine. That is fine. All right, I'm not part of that. I don't subscribe to that. But listen, Salt Row down the bottom there, right? Salty Row, we'll call them that. Yeah, we'll see in May, innit?
We'll see in May.
I'm not even gassed because we know what's coming. It's like it's long. I know what's coming.
Can I just ask Jordan? What I know it's impossible for you to imagine, but what would your reaction be if Spurs actually grabbed the title?
The thing is, it would be a double whammy because if Spurs win the title, which is like the end of my life. But what makes it worse is it would be a Jose Mourinho Spurs winning the title, which makes it double worse. You know what I mean? So, but come on, Kojo, stop smiling. You know what it is. It's Spurs, isn't it?
Listen, man, them in the chats are saying, "Oh, Kojo, is that I spent bet for you? What was I going to say? City or Liverpool? Who do you think I am? I lie, man. They can still win. I don't care. But yeah, Spurs, isn't it? If not Spurs, I'll even go worse.
Right. The title race is between Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, which I didn't think was going to happen, and City. Right, because they're still going to.
What if we beat City next week?
They'll come back up. They're going to rise up, City. I think.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
they will.
Same.
What if we beat City? What if we beat City next week?
You won't.
Okay, cool.
You won't. No.
Okay, cool. I don't think we will either. But I'm just going to say this now. If we do, I'm gonna screen record this moment. I'm also going to invite you here next week and just put it on the thing. No intro, just that part. Yeah, imagine.
I'm going to thank you. I don't care.
I hear that.
Listen, I'm not one of these people that stays wrong and strong, you know. If I've made a mistake, I admit that mistake. But right now, I'm telling you from now, yeah, and what is it, the 6th of December, Tottenham are going to win the league. Yeah, we're going to win the league. And Salty Roll down there, I want to see your faces when that happens.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
I will come here and I will say, I will say the pigs have started flying. Hell has frozen over. It has happened. Well done, Spurs. I will be here. I won't hide. It's refreshing. I have to give you respect because they're the first Spurs fan I've seen to actually put their chest out and say that we can do it. The rest have been too scared to say it.
But Dan, you say that. If I'm a Spurs fan, I would just kind of just deflect the tension. Just say no, Chelsea, Liverpool, and just quietly do your business. But now you push out your chest. You've got it on camera. It's the internet, bro. This is the internet. The whole world can see this, bro. And the whole world can see this.
That's fine. And Ranty,
it's embarrassing.
Why are you typing that, Ranty? Why are you typing that? Yeah, don't type that, bro. Don't defend me and done, innit? Yeah, I've suffered for 44 years. Yeah, of being a Spurs supporter.
And there's 44 more coming.
Yeah, no, there ain't 44 more coming. It ends here. It ends right here. Okay, and I don't business. Yeah, I pushed out my chest for years. Yeah, and I've taken shots, and I'm still here, innit? I don't business. I don't care. I just don't even care.
Whoever edits this channel, right? When Spurs don't win the league, I need to get that speech. I need to get some like inspirational music, emotional music. Cut to like the table. I cut to the league table with like.
Spurs don't even finish top 2. Not even top 2. As far as I'm concerned.
Where they finishing?
Probably top 4, but for me, the top 2 will be Liverpool and Chelsea.
Wow. Well, my prediction is Liverpool going to win the league by 15. Then it's going to be City. Then Spurs probably 3rd. United 4th.
Wow.
I'm not convinced City finished top 4.
Wow. That's a bold statement. Well, on that note, thank you guys for joining us. Darren, love the chest. Dan, I apologize for the robbery, but Rochester United.
Yeah.
Wrong. Salute the badge, people. Salute the badge. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Peace.
And guys, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Don't forget to like, comment,